Ducati is now at the centre of a storm after Alex Marquez's shocking confession about Marc Márquez riding the Desmosedici GP26 was revealed to the public. This shocking fact immediately made rivals nervous and sent shivers down the spines of MotoGP fans. What exactly did Alex Marquez confess, and how will it change the MotoGP power map, making Marc Márquez the most terrifying threat this season? Let's discuss it. The MotoGP paddock has once again been heated by an invisible signal, but it is the most frightening to rivals, not a record time or an overly exaggerated celebration, but a calm smile. Alex Marquez interprets that smile as a sign of great danger ahead of the 2026 MotoGP season. According to Alex, Marc Márquez is now in the most dangerous phase of his career, where speed, intelligence and composure come together in a deadly package on the Ducati Desmosedici GP26. Alex Marquez spoke out, not because of the eye-catching Sepang test results on the timesheets. He spoke out because he saw something much deeper. As Marc's younger brother and closest confidant, Alex intimately understands his brother's body language, mindset and emotional expressions. At Sepang, Alex saw a different version of Marc, calmer, more mature, and far more threatening. According to Alex, the Marc Márquez of 2026 is no longer just trying. He looks like someone who is consciously and deliberately establishing dominance. His approach to the Desmosedici GP26 is meticulous. He pays attention to small details that other riders often overlook, such as the bike's stability when entering corners, the chassis' reaction when tyres start to degrade, and the bike's response in the final phase of the lap. He's not just relying on wild instinct. He's combining a champion's instinct with a high level of technical intelligence. The key to Alex's confidence lies in Marc's compatibility with the character of the GP26. This latest generation of Ducatis is known for being more honest, stable, and precise. Machines that demand riders understand their limits. This is an area in which Marc Márquez has excelled. During the Sepang test, he didn't push himself. He wasn't chasing sensations. He was in dialogue with the bike, naturally adapting his riding style. For Alex, this combination posed an incredible threat to his rivals. The most decisive moment didn't happen on the track, but rather after Marc got off the bike. Marc smiled. It wasn't a smile for the cameras or a mere pleasantry. It was the satisfied smile of a rider who knew he was on the right track. Alex emphasized that such a smile rarely appears until Marc has truly become one with his bike. When it does appear, dominance usually follows quickly. Marc's approach to pre-season testing has also changed significantly. He's no longer obsessively chasing the fastest lap. Now, his focus is on consistency, race simulations, and developing a thorough understanding of the bike. This is the approach of a rider who has overcome injuries, failures, and difficult times. Marc Márquez doesn't just want to be fast, he wants to be ready for a full season. A patient Marc rarely makes fatal mistakes. Alex Marquez's statement wasn't just a compliment from a little brother to his older brother. It came from direct observation and a deep understanding of how Marc operates when he's confident. Alex knows one thing. When Marc is comfortable, he starts pushing the limits. And when Marc pushes the limits, MotoGP is usually unprepared. Therefore, Alex undoubtedly sent a warning signal to the entire 2026 MotoGP grid. Beating Marc Márquez would be a Herculean task, even for the best riders. This situation was further reinforced by Ducati Corse's perspective. Gigi Dall'Igna, Ducati's general manager, openly expressed his admiration for Marc Márquez's performance at Sepang. For Dall'Igna, Marc's lap times weren't the most striking aspect. Rather, it was his approach. He appeared more serious, measured, and strategic than in previous seasons. On the first day of testing, he made a statement by being the fastest on track. Injury hadn't diminished his instincts or speed. The second day was indeed an anomaly. Marc ended up in 15th place. However, Ducati saw it as a golden opportunity. Marc deliberately stepped out of his comfort zone by trying various aerodynamic configurations, exploring the bike's limits, and identifying the GP26's weaknesses. He wasn't chasing results, but rather answers. On the third day, Marc returned to the front with a fourth-place finish, proving that he can always go fast whenever he wants. The 2026 MotoGP season is crucial. Regulations have frozen bike development for the entire season, so technical decisions made during the pre-season will be critical. Choosing the wrong aerodynamic package could mean losing the championship. This is where Marc Márquez's role becomes vital. He works as both a rider and an engineer, providing sharp, honest, and detailed feedback in the most extreme conditions. Marco Rigamonti, Marc Márquez's crew chief, emphasized that Márquez's intelligence is his greatest asset. Marc knows when to be fast and when to think. He continues to push the bike to its limits, but with a much more measured approach. Each lap is a data collection exercise, not just a speed test. This is what makes the Ducati Desmosedici GP26 and Marc Márquez such a formidable duo. The 2026 MotoGP season hasn't begun yet, but the message is clear. Marc Márquez isn't just back. He's back with a more mature, smarter, and more lethal approach. While other riders chase the fastest times, Márquez controls the direction of Ducati's future. If this version of Márquez can maintain his fitness and consistency, the 2026 MotoGP season could once again be overshadowed by one big name. Marc Márquez's role as the linchpin of Ducati's development also puts pressure on other riders, including Pecco Bagnaia and the younger generation of Ducati riders. Marc's position is reportedly becoming stronger, both as the main rider and as a technical reference. This could change the hierarchy within the Ducati garage, especially if the early 2026 race results confirm the signals from the Sepang test. Some MotoGP analysts believe this situation could trigger psychological warfare from the first round. Young riders who rely on raw speed must now face Marc Márquez, who plays key roles in strategy, race management, and track reading. It's not just a duel of speed, it's a duel of intelligence and experience. Another interesting development is how Ducati views Márquez in the context of the transition to the 2027 MotoGP regulations. Due to major changes, such as reduced engine capacity and aerodynamic restrictions, Ducati needs a rider who can predict the future, not just win today. Marc Márquez is considered the most suitable person for this role. Claudio Domenicali emphasized that Marc's contribution to the development of the GP26 isn't just for the 2026 season, it also establishes Ducati's philosophy for the new era. What Marc did in Sepang was not just a test, but a roadmap for Ducati as it faces major changes in MotoGP. This is why Ducati has given the world champion full trust and ample room to work. The 2026 MotoGP season risks becoming a season of survival for its rivals rather than intense competition. It's not because they're slow, it's because they'll have to face a version of Marc Márquez who's not only fast, but also patient, intelligent, and calculating. If Ducati's plan succeeds, dominance will become a real threat, not just a possibility. Will this be a new era of dominance for Márquez with the Ducati GP26? Share your thoughts below